Is the Battlefront Classic Collection really going to be worth it? In a world of remakes where everything feels like a copy of what's already been done, is this just another nostalgia money grab meant to lure us in and just take our money and then spit us out? I don't think so. I'm going to give you in this video my 5 reasons why I think the Battlefront Classic Collection is going to be worth your $35. Make sure you stick around all the way to the end because my last one's a little bit controversial, and then I'm also going to share my #1 reservation about this game. Let's get started. Number 1, and this has to be number 1 on everyone's list, a 64-player online multiplayer. This is an upgrade from the original 32-player that was a part of the original games, and I'm super excited, and I think that alone, even just that, probably would be enough to get most people back to the game and get a lot of people playing. People are looking for something fresh and new. Now you're going to say this isn't new, nor is it fresh, but it is. And I think it's actually going to pull in a lot of new players. That's my number 2. Number 2, there's a lot of new players, I think, that are going to play these games that may not have played the original Battlefronts, who have been fans of the Battlefront franchise in the new generation as opposed to the games from 20 years ago. Now, why do I think that's the case? I think that's the case because I can see the pre-order numbers from PlayStation. You see the PlayStation Store shows the trending pre-orders, and you can see that Battlefront is near the top of the list. That's a great thing. Now, I'm not suggesting you have to pre-order this game. There are no pre-order bonuses, nothing extra that you get, but it just shows that people are interested and excited for what's about to come. And I also think that means there's some new players on PlayStation, particularly because I can't see the numbers from others, that I think makes it an exciting enough point for me to say, that's why I'm going to play this game. Number 3, all the extra stuff, the DLC content that we might not have had access to unless you were on Xbox. Things like the bonus maps. So we're talking Jabba's Palace, Bespin, Yavin 4, and then also Harbor and Citadel, all part of this pack, no matter where you play, whether it's on Xbox or PC or Switch or PlayStation, you're going to get access to all of these, as well as the downloadable characters that were a part of that. So Asajj Ventress and Kit Fisto are also a part of this package. Not to mention, Hero Assault has been upgraded to be on every single ground map. That is an awesome upgrade, and one that I don't see enough people talking about. Number 4, the 501st campaign. Now, I know I can already hear you saying, hey, that's a part of the original games. If you want to play that, you could just go get the $10 game and play it on there. I'm like, you could, but it's going to be better. It's remastered. The game size is a 50 gig download on PlayStation, which is much larger than the original game, which makes me think that this is just going to be a better experience. Now, you might be sitting there going, I don't know what the 501st campaign is. Why should I even care about it? I just want to play multiplayer. Well, you see, the time before the Clone Wars, before we knew about inhibitor chips, before we had that backstory, there were other stories that tried to fill in the gaps, and the 501st campaign is one of those. Tamir Morrison's voice acting in this is fantastic.
Perhaps, but no one said a word.
And I think you will greatly enjoy going through the campaign of a stormtrooper, of a clone trooper, of going through that process of what it was to be a clone all the way up to stormtroopers through Order 66. And if you haven't played it, I think it's completely worth it to get this game and play that campaign. Now, number 5, and you might disagree with me, but this is my channel and these are my reasons. Here it is. I think if you purchase this game, the more people we can get to purchase this game, the more likelihood of showing that a Battlefront 3 is still viable and needed and desired. Now, why do I say that? Well, because when Battlefront 3 was canceled, fans were devastated. We're still wanting that experience. And after the more recent cancellations of other video games, we can see that Star Wars video games have had some hard times recently. And so to show that, hey, there's money to be made with a Battlefront series and that Battlefront 3 done right would definitely be something that people would get behind. I think showing that by purchasing this game is actually a reason to say it's worth it, because if this leads to us getting a Battlefront 3, then it's absolutely definitely worth it. Now my reservation, my big reservation, many have said that because there is not cross-play, that's a reservation, and I think that is, but there's a bigger one. There's one that I think is even the bigger problem and a viable reason for you to maybe be hesitant about buying the game, and that's people are going to buy this game, play it for a few weeks, and then move on. Now for me, that's not going to be me. I'm going to love playing this game for as long as possible, and especially because we don't see a Battlefront 3 on the horizon, this is the game that I'm going to enjoy playing, and I'm not just going to walk away in 2 weeks. I can't control what other people do, but I think that at least is fair to have a reservation. But to you, I would just ask this: is $35 worth it in your mind to play a game, even if it's for a shorter period of time? Honestly, I think it is. That's an okay thing. It's not an exorbitant amount of money. Yeah, you could spend your money on other things, but I think it's going to be well worth it to pick up this classic collection, to enjoy playing with your friends, or just play through the campaigns or whatever else it might be. That's why I'm going to start with the multiplayer, because I can always go to the campaigns if the multiplayer ends up dying out, but I don't think it will. I think it'll be here for a while. So let me know down in the comments below, have I convinced you? Do you think it's worth it? Did I miss a point? What's your top 5 points of why this is worth it? And if you're going to be playing, you can come join me on PlayStation 5. I'm going to be playing there. You can drop your gamer tag down below. Would love to play with all of you. Who knows? Maybe I'll even throw a stream up here. If that's something you want to see, hit that like button. Let me know in the comments, and I will see you on the next one.